What if I told you that a single idea, a burning desire, could be the key to unlocking a life of not just wealth, but of purpose, passion, and profound success? What if the greatest riches weren't just in your bank account, but in the vast, untapped potential of your own mind?
And what if I told you that the man who wrote the book on it might have been a bit of a, let's say, creative storyteller himself?
That too. Welcome back to You Are What You Read, the podcast for the bookishly curious. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jane. And this week, we're diving headfirst into a book that's been a global phenomenon for nearly a century. A book that's been on the nightstands of presidents, entrepreneurs, and dreamers alike. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Now, before you click away thinking this is just another get-rich-quick scheme, stick with us. Because whether you love it, hate it, or are just plain curious, there's no denying the immense impact this book has had on the world of self-development.
And we're going to unpack it all. The good, the questionable, and the downright weird. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and get ready to think your way to, well, we'll see.
All right, Jane, let's set the stage. Think and Grow Rich was published in 1937, right in the thick of the Great Depression. People were desperate for a glimmer of hope, a roadmap out of poverty. And along comes Napoleon Hill, a man who claimed to have spent 20 years interviewing over 500 of the most successful men of his time, including the likes of Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison.
He said Carnegie personally commissioned him to distill the secrets of their success into a philosophy that anyone could apply. It's a pretty epic origin story, you have to admit.
It is. And the core premise of the book is deceptively simple. Your thoughts are things. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It's the granddaddy of the law of attraction, the power of positive thinking, you name it.
So it's not just about wishing for $1 million and it magically appearing in your lap.
Not quite. Hill lays out a very specific 13-step framework for turning your desires into reality. And the first and most important step is desire. Not a mere wish, Jane, but a white-hot, all-consuming obsession.
Ooh, intense. So it's not enough to just want to be a successful writer, for example.
Exactly. Hill would say you need to have a burning desire to be a successful writer. You need to know exactly what that success looks like. How many books sold? What kind of impact do you want to have? He even gives a 6-step method for transmuting that desire into its financial equivalent.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are the 6 steps? Is it like a magic spell?
It's more practical than that. First, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Be definite. Second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for that money. There's no such thing as something for nothing. Third, establish a definite date by which you intend to possess the money.
Deadlines, the enemy of every creative person.
But a powerful motivator. Fourth, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. Fifth, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, name the time limit, state what you intend to give in return, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it.
And the 6th step.
Read your written statement aloud, twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once after arising in the morning. And as you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money.
Okay, that last part sounds a bit out there. Visualizing and feeling like you already have the money. It feels a little like playing pretend.
And that's where the second principle comes in, faith. Hill argues that faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer.
Infinite intelligence. That sounds very grand. What exactly is it?
Hill is a bit vague on that, which is one of the criticisms of the book. It's this universal source of wisdom and power that you can tap into. But the practical application is that you have to believe with every fiber of your being that you can achieve your desire. You have to have unwavering faith in yourself and your plan.
So if you have doubts, you're doomed.
Not necessarily, but you need to work on cultivating that faith. And that leads us to the third principle, autosuggestion. This is the tool for influencing your subconscious mind. It's the repetition of your written statement, the constant visualization. It's about programming your mind for success.
I can see how that could be powerful. What you focus on expands, right? If you're constantly telling yourself you're a successful writer, you're more likely to take the actions of a successful writer.
Precisely. Now, desire, faith, and autosuggestion are the foundational pillars. The next principles are more about the practical application. Number 4 is specialized knowledge. Hill makes a great point here. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is of little use in the accumulation of money.
So my vast knowledge of 19th century British literature probably won't make me a millionaire.
Unless you can find a way to organize and use that knowledge in a practical way. The key is specialized knowledge in your chosen field. And you don't have to possess all this knowledge yourself. This is where the 5th principle comes in, the mastermind.
The mastermind. It sounds like a supervillain's council.
It's actually a brilliant concept. A mastermind is a coordination of knowledge and effort in the spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. Hill argues that no 2 minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force, which may be likened to a third mind.
So it's about surrounding yourself with smart people who can help you achieve your goals. A support system on steroids.
Exactly. Think of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, or any successful partnership. They created a mastermind. And this group can help you with the 6th principle, organized planning. This is where you crystallize your desire into action. You create a concrete, detailed plan.
And I'm guessing winging it isn't part of the plan.
Definitely not. Hill emphasizes the importance of a faultless plan. And if your first plan fails, you replace it with another. You keep planning and executing until you succeed. This requires the 7th principle, decision. Hill says that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly if and when they are changed at all. Unsuccessful people make decisions slowly and change them frequently and quickly.
That one hits home. The paralysis of analysis, overthinking every little thing until the opportunity has passed.
It's a major stumbling block for many. And once you've made a decision, you need the 8th principle, persistence. This is sheer willpower, the ability to keep going no matter how many times you fail. Hill tells the story of R.U. Darby, who quit digging for gold just 3 feet from a major vein. The man who bought his claim brought in an engineer who said the vein was right there. Darby learned his lesson and went on to become a hugely successful insurance salesman, never again quitting just because things got tough.
3 feet from gold. That's a powerful and slightly terrifying thought. It makes you wonder how many times we've given up just before a breakthrough.
It's a great metaphor for the power of persistence. The next few principles are a bit more esoteric. Number 9 is the power of the mastermind, which we've touched on. Number 10 is the mystery of sex transmutation.
The what now?
I know, it sounds a bit out there, but Hill's theory is that the desire for sexual expression is the most powerful of human desires, and that this energy, when transmuted or redirected into other pursuits, can be a powerful creative force. He argues that the most successful people have a highly developed sexual nature and have learned to harness that energy for their work.
So, less time in the bedroom and more time in the boardroom?
It's not about abstinence, but about channeling that powerful life force towards your goals. It's a controversial idea for sure.
I'll say. What's next on this mystical journey?
Number 11 is the subconscious mind. We've talked about influencing it through autosuggestion. He sees it as a bridge to infinite intelligence. You plant your desires in your subconscious, and it works on them day and night. The 12th principle is the brain. He describes it as a broadcasting and receiving station for thought.
So our brains are like little psychic radios?
In a way, he believes that thoughts are a form of energy and that our brains can pick up on the thoughts of others. And finally, the 13th principle is the sixth sense. This is the pinnacle of the philosophy where you can tap into infinite intelligence at will. It's a state of creative imagination and intuition.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. It starts off pretty practical with goals and planning, and then it veers into some pretty mystical territory.
It absolutely does. And that's one of the main criticisms of Think and Grow Rich, the lack of scientific evidence for some of these claims. The infinite intelligence, the sixth sense, the vibrations of thought, it's all very faith-based.
And what about Napoleon Hill himself? You mentioned he might have been a creative storyteller?
That's putting it mildly. While the book has inspired millions, investigative journalists and historians have uncovered some inconsistencies in his life story. There's no concrete evidence that he ever even met Andrew Carnegie, let alone was commissioned by him. Hill was involved in a number of failed business ventures and even faced charges of fraud.
So the whole foundation of the book, this epic quest to interview the titans of industry, might be a fabrication?
It's a very real possibility, and that's something we have to grapple with when we read this book. Does the potential falsehood of the author's personal story invalidate the principles he lays out?
That's a tough question. I mean, if the advice is good and it works for people, does it matter where it came from? But on the other hand, it feels a bit disingenuous. It's like finding out your favorite health guru secretly eats junk food every day.
I think that's a perfect analogy. And for me, this is where being a critical reader is so important. We can acknowledge the problematic aspects of Hill's life and the more outlandish claims in the book while still extracting the timeless wisdom.
So what's the timeless wisdom for you? What are the golden nuggets in Think and Grow Rich that are still relevant today?
For me, it's the emphasis on the power of our own minds, the idea that we have agency over our thoughts and that our mindset plays a crucial role in our success. The principles of having a definite purpose, a concrete plan, and the persistence to see it through, that's solid advice, regardless of who comes from. The mastermind principle is also incredibly valuable. Surrounding yourself with a supportive, intelligent network is a game changer for anyone.
I agree. And I think the concept of desire, of really knowing what you want with clarity and passion, is so important. In a world with so many distractions and options, it's easy to drift without a clear destination. This book, for all its flaws, forces you to sit down and ask yourself, what do I really want?
And it gives you a framework for answering that question. It encourages you to dream big and then to create a practical roadmap to get there. It's a book that champions human potential.
So, despite the controversy, you'd still recommend it?
I would, but with a caveat. Read it with a healthy dose of skepticism. Don't take everything as gospel. Take what resonates with you, what you find useful, and leave the rest. See it as a historical document that has shaped the self-help movement, for better or for worse.
It's a book that starts a conversation, that's for sure. It makes you think about your own beliefs about money, success, and the power of your own mind.
And that's the real richness, isn't it? The ability to think critically, to question, to learn, and to grow. That's a wealth that no amount of money can buy.
So, what are your thoughts? Have you read Think and Grow Rich? Did it change your life? Or did you find it to be a load of old-timey nonsense? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the pages of a classic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Because here at YouAre-WhatYouRead, we believe that every book is a new chapter in your own story. And by subscribing, you're not just getting more videos, you're investing in your own mastermind of fellow book lovers. You're taking a definite step in your plan to, well, you fill in the blank.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and keep growing.